My name is Reverend Mark Larry, and I think probably a lot of people know me, but there'll be a lot of people here today that do not know me. And on October the 2nd, 2010, I was appointed the full-time chaplain, and the chaplaincy does minister to patients and their families and to staff at both the St. John Regional Hospital and the St. Joseph Hospital. At any given time, there would be between 60 and 70 patients between the two hospitals, and a lot of them are Baptist in name only. They put down Baptist because I think they have to put something down, and it might be because their grandfather or grandmother was a Baptist, or maybe they were brought up Baptist. Around 4,000 visits are made each year between the two hospitals. The name hospital would be the St. John Regional, and then I try to get over to the St. Joseph's Hospital about once a week. I believe when people are in hospital, they're more open. They probably are thinking a little bit deeper than what they usually are thinking, and I think that they're because of their health situation, they're a little bit more open to maybe the Lord's will in their life, and I think they're more receptive to the chaplain coming in and talking to them about spiritual things. The chaplaincy provides counseling in many areas. I think probably the number one area would be of faith. A lot of people come into the hospital with a lot of fears and doubts, especially if it was their first visit to the hospital. A lot of counseling is done for salvation, assurance of salvation, and a lot of times it's just a listening ear. And so there's a ministry of listening, and people sometimes I don't say too much, but just a good listening ear, and they say, "You've helped me so much." So I think sometimes everybody has to want someone to listen to them. Priorities in visitation would be the emergency department, the intensive care units, the cancer and heart units. Probably a lot of time is spent with patients who are outside the area that have no pastor or no church connection. Every day when I leave the hospital, I feel that I have helped at least a few people that day. Sometimes I come into a patient's room and it's probably the worst day of their life. Oftentimes when I walk in, maybe the doctor had just been there 5 or 10 minutes before, and maybe they were given bad news, or at least not the news that they were expecting. And I feel that that's where the Lord can use me, and to offer comfort through the help of the Lord, and maybe offering strength. Many times when I pray for people, it's the first time that maybe someone has ever prayed for them, and oftentimes there will be a tear coming down their cheeks, and I know that it's all often to do with God's timing, that I landed in the right place at the right time to help people going through a difficult time in their life. Come into contact with people from all spiritual backgrounds, economic backgrounds, social backgrounds, and it's really interesting work, and oftentimes I am able to bring a person a little bit further along in their spiritual journey. I've had the pleasure and opportunity to lead some people to the Lord in this past year, and what a great joy that's been. I think of one man who asked to see a chaplain during the middle of the night, and then when I was able to go to see him, he said that he thought he was dying, and he wasn't ready to die, and I had the great opportunity to lead him to a personal knowledge of the Lord. As a result, the Lord, he did not die. He still comes into the hospital about every 6 weeks for treatments, and he's just on fire for the Lord. He's reading his Bible, and I think he's probably been more of a joy to me than anything, and it's just wonderful. And every time I talk to him, he always has he's been reading from the Bible, and he has all these questions to ask me, and so we're almost doing a Bible study together. Funding is provided by many Baptist churches throughout New Brunswick, also by different individual groups within the churches, and also many Christian organizations, individual Christians, and also some patients have also contributed to the work over the last many years. There's a great need for financial support, but I think even more important than that is the great need for prayer support. The work is very challenging, exciting, rewarding, but it's also spiritual draining. And many nights when I come home, I am pretty exhausted because maybe there's some of the days there's 3 or 4 patients that are on their deathbeds. Working with children is always probably a little bit more stressful. And so I would covet your prayers for the ministry, just praying that I might have the wisdom to say the right thing at the right time, and to offering the Lord's comfort and strength to those people who might not normally be in church on a weekly basis. I covet your prayers. Thank you very much.